All right, everyone. Apparently, a column from back in the year 2000, quite some time ago, I think Trudeau was barely an adult at the time, it talks about how Justin Trudeau, of course, son of then Prime Minister, was basically groping up a reporter, was basically, sexually encountering them against their will. And I guess is very sorry about it and so forth. I'm surprised that this isn't horrendously viral. Because every time that a politician does something like this and is conservative in some manner, or just anti-establishment, it goes viral and they get like headhunted after. Trudeau does it, and apparently people are too busy talking about how he's going to stand toe-to-toe with Trump, don't worry, at the next G whatever summit meetings. I don't think that that's actually going to happen, but it's all very funny because this puts Trudeau in the second circle of sexual allegation hell. The first circle is just like harassment claims. It's like Bill O'Reilly falls into this category, and he got fucking sacked from a seven-figure job. You think about, what did he do? He made like obscene phone calls and stuff, and made awkward passes at his coworkers, apparently on 4 or 5 different occasions. And he ended up having to pony up millions of dollars and then gets fired anyway. He got a golden parachute firing. Don't worry, we're giving you the rest of your salary. Don't worry, it's only 1.5 million or some obscene total. Now, I think he was making like, what was it, $7 million fucking dollars a year to do his. He probably is still making at least 6 figures off his podcast selling subscriptions, which is the funny part. It's like he's not exactly hurting for certain. Don't worry, he's semi-retired now. The second circle that Trudeau is in is also sort of the Franken circle, which is, it's basically, it's a physical claim. It goes beyond just words like harassment or an obscene phone call, but it doesn't, you're not, raping anybody per se, or explicitly sexually assaulting them. Just sort of groping someone up, being ham-handed. This is where Franken is. He's, I believe, did resign. And this is where Trudeau, should be, if people were talking about it. Then you have the third circle is rape, and then the fourth circle is anything involving children. Or gayness, sometimes, if it's a right-wing politician. You've got someone, a mega-church pastor, big-time Republican politician, turns out they're having like a gay orgy. It might be consensual or something, but it still puts them in the third circle from which, trust me, there's no surviving intact as far as your job goes. You will be fired. You will not, at the very least, you don't get re-elected even if you refuse to resign. Even Ronald Reagan wouldn't have been able to survive that. And maybe he did. Maybe he paraded around in women's clothes in the privacy of the White House. Who knows? But Justin Trudeau, apparently, this is the allegation, is in the second circle of sexual abuse claim hell. With the Me Too movement still marching along, I'm very, very surprised that he's managing to escape any real wrath. I think it's because it's like Bill Clinton is old, and he's not very charismatic anymore. And you've got a bunch of old allegations about him that put him variously in the second and third circle of that same hell, and the first and fourth occasionally. If Epstein's, private rape island is any indicator there, at least a court, it's totally just an allegation. He's like in prison or dead, I think, now. Totally just an allegation. He was taking flights with Kevin Spacey, too, at the time, but there was nothing odd going on there. They were just going there to talk and hang out and drink margaritas. So Bill Clinton gets shafted, but if something like this happens to Trudeau, if it happened to like an Obama or something, someone who's younger and more suave, Joe Kennedy, they escape any repercussion. I've noticed that this seems to be the case. Like Clinton back then, when he's in his 30s and 40s, a governor or early President Clinton, nobody fucking gives a shit about it, and it stays in the tabloids, basically. Now, all of a sudden, when he's older, when he's pushing, 75 or some crazy number, now all of a sudden people care, and it's all very funny because NBC basically coddles him, and Colbert gives him the do-over, and it's so cute. And Trudeau, meanwhile, apparently was groping somebody up years and years ago, and nothing happens to him. It's like, oh, yeah, yawn, it's slow news day, nobody cares. Basically, we need proof if it's Justin Trudeau. If it's anyone else, we don't, because he's got the cute hobbit face and shit. He looks like he walked out of the Shire, and he's probably Fidel Castro's bastard offspring or something. That's another claim about him because of the way he looks. He does look freakishly like Fidel Castro. His mom apparently was going to Cuba multiple times around that time. It's possible. It's definitely possible. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. Maybe his mom fucked Fidel Castro. Who knows? I guess that happened. But he should resign by the standards of the left. You know, for anyone else, resign, and then if they do resign, they harass them for weeks. Like, you know, even on mere allegation, one person makes one allegation towards anyone who's not, you know, far left, they're loved by the liberals of the world, they get shafted immediately. Their sponsors are targeted, they're deplatformed, in some cases depersoned. They don't even have to do anything sexually related. They say one thing that comes off as bigoted and a bunch of people dogpile them. Like Roseanne, oh, she's a virulent, bitter, horrible racist. You know, I remember, like, who was it? What the fuck was her name? Paula Deen. Like, she had said some racist things 20 years before and made a tearful apology and basically doesn't exist anymore. So, you know, Butter Lady, the one who puts 5 or 6 sticks of butter in everything, she should join Bill O'Reilly. She should have a cooking show on YouTube or have a podcast or something. Call it the Butter Hour or something. That would be funny. And that doesn't even involve something that's more heinous, like what Trudeau supposedly did, or you know, God forbid, like a Spacey or a Weinstein. So why is Trudeau escaping any repercussions? Nobody even is talking about it. What? It's because he's young and he's liberal, basically. And because he's an anti-Trumper. Yeah, the fact that he, you know, condemns Trump's tariff talks and stuff. Not like Canada has the weight to throw around to stop Trump from tariffing their goods. They tariff theirs. Canada puts tariffs on all sorts of Durham wheat and beef, and all sorts of things have a tariff on them for Canadian importing purposes. Why can't we do the same thing? If we slapped you with the kind of tariffs you have hit us with, I would think that would make it fair, wouldn't it? You know, you're saying free trade. Okay, well then get rid of your tariffs. You do that, and some of your industry will definitely get outcompeted by the U.S. That's why you have tariffs. So you can see why we want to put tariffs on some goods too. It just makes sense. But a lot of people don't want it to be America first. They want the U.S. to continue being dumb. And Justin Trudeau, you know, you're one to talk, apparently. You know, back when you were young and drunk, maybe, in all honesty, because you were the prime minister's son, you thought you could get away with, you know, grabbing the reporter's boobs or whatever you did. And it's like, it was funny because like Al Franken, when he went viral for that, you remember that picture where he's like, he was doing literally the soy face while grabbing the sleeping reporter's boobs. He's like, oh, this was consensual. We were doing a play. It was just a play. Well, then why is this person saying, no, I was asleep at the time? And it seems a little bit odd. And then there were other allegations that sort of corroborated he'd done this before. And he resigns, I think. And it's like, you know, we got photographic evidence of you groping someone who's unconscious. And it's almost surreal because you're trying to explain it away as just, oh, it was a foible. We were on the plane. We were, you know, it was a play about the fact that I was perverted. So it's like, okay, well, here you are. I think you were married at the time. You're still grabbing some other woman's boobs. I would think that would be a little bit of a problem too. I think he was actually, or at least in a relationship. So yeah, the left is hypocritical. It's not so much getting on the outrage bus. It's like, okay, well, this is back in 2000. It's a long time ago, and he didn't, like, rape anyone, supposedly. Okay, understood, but the thing is, if this were a politician who were a member of their conservative party, or a libertarian, or an alt-righter or something, they would dogpile him instantly. Oh, you horrible, woman-hating degenerate. That's what they would do, but they ignore the story, because it's fucking Justin Trudeau, the hobbit-faced little twerp. That's about all. Peace out.